Hi, Mike Pajak here, and I am in Oroville, California, just kind of kicking back and relaxing and absorbing some of the information that I learned at a 3-day event that I just attended in San Jose, California, called the National Achievers Congress. And at this 3-day event, we heard from speakers Donald Trump, Robert Kiyosaki, Anthony Robbins, T. Harv Eker, and just a whole lineup of great speakers who gave us great information, great content. We had a lot of fun, and what was really cool is that we got to hang out and mastermind with like-minded people and absorb tons of positive energy, which is something that you can only get at a live event. And so right now I'm just kind of going through my notes that I took while Anthony Robbins was speaking. He actually kicked off the event and inspired us, motivated us, and really gave us the energy we needed to push through this intense 3 days. And so I apologize if while I'm reading this I stumble a little bit, but my handwriting's kind of sloppy. I was writing stuff down so quick, trying to hurry up and get all this information. And I'm also still in the process of actually absorbing and retaining that information. And one of the best ways to actually do that, to retain new information, is to teach it. And so that's what this video is all about, is it's allowing me to retain the information by teaching it to you, and obviously you're going to get some great content out of the deal. So it's a win-win. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and here we go. So one of the things that Anthony Robbins asked us to ask ourselves is, what is possible in your life? And obviously the answer to that question is determined by your own thoughts and your own beliefs in what is possible in your life. How you do anything is how you do everything. Maximum pessimism is when you can succeed at the highest level. There are 3 mandates to success. See things as they are, but not worse than it actually is. See it better than it is, and make it the way you see it. What makes a difference in the quality of people's lives is their emotions. When you make decisions, take action right there and commit to that decision. There are 3 steps to making your decision. Decide what to focus on, and in the process of deciding what to focus on, you obviously want to only focus on things that you can actually control in your life. Then you have to ask yourself, what does this mean? What does it mean to me? What does it mean to those around me? What does it mean to my life? Because whatever it is that it means to you is going to create emotions, and those emotions are actually going to determine your quality of life. So if you simply change the meaning of things, you'll change your emotions and thereby change your quality of life. Yeah, it makes sense, right? So, and then finally you have to ask yourself, what am I going to do? What are the steps from this point on to support that decision? If decisions determine the quality of life, what determines decisions? There are 2 things that affect our decisions, and the first one is our state of mind, and the second one is the story that we tell ourselves, or the blueprint that has been programmed into our mind. Our energy comes from our mindset, and our emotion is created by emotion, by taking action. And so getting back to the two forces that affect our decisions, the first one being state. You can change your state of mind or your state of being by 2 different ways, and that's a radical change in physiology or by changing your focus. And so that's just simply, radical change in physiology means changing your heart rate or moving around, jumping around. Myself, I like to dance around, so if I get up and I'm in kind of a crappy mood and things just aren't going the way I want, you get up there and you kind of jump around, dance around a little bit, turn on some music, and change your state of mind and change the outcome of your entire day, thereby changing the outcome of your entire life, not to mention the fact that you can affect other people's lives in a more positive way just by simply doing that. And the second way, obviously, is to change your focus. Whatever it is that, in my case, in my example, if I wake up in a crappy mood, whatever it is that I'm focusing on that's creating that mood, I have to shift my focus to something else, something more positive. So that's 2 ways that you can change your state of mind and thereby change your entire life. Interesting stuff. So your life conditions are equal to the blueprint that is in your mind, or the stories that you're telling yourself. And that's about it looks like. Yeah. So, yeah, where was I? Okay, life conditions are equal to your blueprint. And so whatever stories that you're telling yourself or whatever program that you already have in your mind, obviously, determine your life conditions because, they control your emotions. And so, there's different choices that you can make if you want to, live a better life. And the first choice is, you can ignore and blame others. And you can ignore and blame events, or you can blame yourself, and that's where a lot of people, and myself included, kind of get hung up, is blaming ourselves for past events that maybe we did or did not have control over. The fact of the matter is, it's regardless, because the thing is that you learn a lesson that you move forward. If you spend your life blaming other people or yourself for things, you're never going to change. You're never going to have the life or the results or the success that you really want. So it starts with letting go of the blame and taking action to make changes. Your second choice is to change your life conditions. And I actually have a life coach who is really big on this, and he tells us we need to just change our environments. So if you're in a crappy relationship, obviously you want to get out of that relationship and maybe even move to a new town. However, the interesting thing is, even if you took those steps, while it is a positive step, if you don't change, and this is step 3, if you don't change your blueprint, you'll actually fall back into that same cycle and into another crappy relationship, or whatever the case may be. So ultimately, you want to change your blueprint or your programming, whatever stories it is that you're telling yourself that's keeping you in that continuous cycle. And so, it's pretty interesting stuff, and this is stuff that I've actually experimented with, and ultimately it really does come down to changing that blueprint, because if you don't change the way you're thinking, then you're just going to keep repeating the same patterns over and over. Life will pay what you ask, so be specific, and more importantly, give before you receive. And the more you give, the more you will receive. But I like to say, give and expect nothing in return. You should give just to give, not because you expect something in return. And now obviously, the universe has a way of really, giving back whatever it is you give to others. But, don't ever expect. You should just give to give. Next page. So, here's some interesting information on how to master your life. It starts with strengthening your identity and raising your standards. The strongest force is your personality, and and your need to stay confident. See, I was saying I got to kind of squint to read some of the stuff that I wrote because I was in such a hurry trying to get all this information. Who you spend the most time with is who you will become. So look at the 5 people that you spend the most time with, and how they're influencing your life. And those 5 people are ultimately going to determine who you become in life. And you have to move differently, and that's that could go different ways. Just in the way that you walk, you can notice that a confident person walks a different way than somebody who has less confidence. So just by simply learning to move your body in a different way, speak in a different way, using different tones, it'll change your results in life as well, and it'll change the way people view you. So it really comes down to strengthening your identity, raising your standards, and changing your shoulds into your musts. Like, I should spend more time going to the gym and working on my body. No, you shouldn't. You must. You have to make that a must if you want to see any kind of results. Otherwise, you're always going to be saying, I should do this, and you're never going to do it. So make it a must. I must go to the gym today. I must commit to that. I must hire a personal trainer. Whatever it is that you have to do, whatever it is that you're telling yourself you should do, you need to turn that into your musts. So, everything in life is there because you put it there, because of your standards, because of how you hold your own esteem and how you view yourself. So, see yourself as a powerful contribution to the world, because you really are. And so, but it ultimately comes down with what you believe in your own self, and getting back to changing those stories and those blueprints that are in your mind, which create your emotions, which thereby cause you to take actions that determine your results in life. That like I throw that in there, like you should already know. So let's see. We got a little bit more here, and I think we'll move on to something else. It's just so much great information that we got. And this is just from Anthony Robbins. 3 days we had, I think, 4 or 5 speakers each day. on different topics, and it was just like all this freaking awesome information, and we just had a lot of fun while we were there. So I'm going to look at kind of what Anthony Robbins here put together. It's called the success cycle, and it really starts with your beliefs and certainties, as we've been talking about, and it moves into your potential. There's infinite potential in all of us, okay? You have more potential than you even know. But in order to access that potential, you have to have belief in yourself and belief in the universe and what is actually possible for you. Okay, so once you have the belief and the certainty that you can do something, you then tap into all of that potential that is out there and then take action. Action is the next step. And from that come your results. So you kind of see how your beliefs really dictate your actual results. It really starts with what you believe. And so, the more you believe in yourself, the more potential you're going to have access to, the better actions you're going to take, and the better results that you're going to have in life. So it's a pretty awesome little cycle thing there anyway. So, that's kind of roughly what we learned. There's tons of other information, but I don't want to make this video too long. I do thank you for taking the time to watch, and I hope that you were able to get some value from this video. And thanks again for watching. Okay, so I wanted to go ahead and actually finish this video with some incantations that Anthony Robbins shared with us while we were there. And we actually went through them a few times with him while we were there. He'd say it and then we'd say it after him. And they immediately had an effect on my life at the event, and they're actually still affecting my life now. So I want to go ahead and share those with you, and repeat them every day for a course of 90 days, because really that's the amount of time it actually takes to really change habits and blueprints in your mind, if you can do it for 90 days. And so with that, I'll go ahead and share them. Feel free to repeat after I say them. Now I am the voice. I will lead, not follow. I will believe, not doubt. I will create, not destroy. I am a force for good. I am a leader. Defy the odds. Set new standards. And step up. So anyway, I hope those can help you out as much as they've helped me. Again, say them every day for 90 days when you get up in the morning, or as often as you want. The more often you say them, the quicker your mind's going to retain that information, and the sooner you're going to be able to actually shift your belief in the direction of those incantations. So again, this is Mike Pajak. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got some value out of the video, and take care of yourself.